Speculations were rife in the media last week as General's sacking was what took center stage talking about Nigerian football. And though the NFF dispelled the rumors, it must be said that those in the know-how, so to speak, have confirmed that indeed the German has been dismissed. It's just a matter of compensation as well as the official announcement from the NFF. Today we'll be talking about the state of Nigerian football on the arena, and it's on that note I welcome you to today's edition of the show. I'm Samson Olede. I had the privilege of speaking with Godwin Enahena, a veteran sports journalist, multiple award-winning, and also a stakeholder when it comes to Nigerian football, having managed MFM Football Club. We had so much to talk about. Let's go on this breather. When we return, we'll delve into the thick of things. Do stick around.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services, and meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery. Ooh.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Welcome back, folks. It's still the arena. Now let's delve into the discussions with Godwin Enahena. I asked him straight up what he has to say regards the dismissal of General, and he said this.
My name is Godwin Enahena. First and foremost, I'm a media practitioner. That means I'm a journalist, a sport journalist to be specific. I dabbled into sport administration. That is taking my time and play with my head, as it were. That's what Nigerian sport does to you. But it's all good, it's all fine, it's a passion. And I'm a businessman who does legitimate business. Well, let's look at it from the business angle. And I want to start by saying sacking General will save us $10 million. If you qualify for the World Cup, you get $10 million automatically. If you sack General now, you will not spend up to less than $1 million, less than $200,000 for you to sack General. So it makes sense that brands are queuing, waiting for Nigeria to qualify for the World Cup. But General, I'll tell you that it will take a miracle for us to go to the World Cup. It's not good enough. But I'm bothered that the Nigerian Football Federation waited this long. It took a long time. So whoever comes now will be on a rescue mission. And if we fail to qualify, you trust Nigerians, they'll blame it on the NFF. Why didn't you allow General? Why didn't we have to swim and sink with him? But again, a man who has no direction, a man who has no purpose, a man who has given us a national team that does not inspire anymore. Like I said, from the business side of it, I'm a major stakeholder. You know how it is in broadcasting. If the Super Eagles qualify for the World Cup, I stand to make so much money. Some have a lot of proposals lined up. There are different agencies that are, everywhere. They're looking at them. By the grace of God, they will approve. That means the kind of car I want to drive in 2022, I will have to drive that car, as it were, God keeping us. So it's something that had to be done, but we waited for too long.
5 years and 7 months on the job, that's how long the German spent with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Where did it all go wrong? Godwin said this.
It was never the kind of coach that we should have employed. Let me say it here. I've said it everywhere. In 2016, let me start from this note. In 2016, I was in Madrid. I was the chairman of MFM Football Club, that's Mountain of Fire Miracles Ministries. So chairman of clubs in Nigeria selected had to go to Spain to learn what? We were there to learn club management, how to manage clubs. So I went with a lot of other club chairmen. We were right there when the man General came. And before you could say Jack Robinson, Sir Green, who was then the all-powerful chairman, technical committee, Nigerian Football Federation, was screaming, I don't want this man. This man can't take us anywhere. Can't you see he's an old man? So I came and I'm like, Barrister Green, what's going on? He said, look at the man that Pini Kamaju is fostering on us. We will not take him. Literally, I went on my knees and I said, Barrister Green, let's give this man an opportunity. Why was I saying that? I saw an old man. I saw a man who looked so humble. I saw a man who, for me at that point, thought would give us a direction. A German. And I Googled and I saw that he had taken Bordeaux to the final of the UEFA, competition club side. I saw a man who had coached the Burkina Faso team. I saw a man who has coached another team in Africa. I've forgotten the name of the African country now. And I said, okay, he has an African experience. Then I also heard that he's married to a Madagascar, that he spends most time in Africa. So I was like, Barrister Green, let's give this man an opportunity. After back and forth for 3 days, I kept talking to Barrister Green, kept begging him, and he said, Godier, that's what he calls me, Godier, well, you guys will see at the end of the day. And that was getting raw. I saw something in him that he's a German first and foremost, that he has coached 2 national teams, that he had the African experience working with African players. That was what I saw. But I haven't seen 3-4 games. I saw no direction at all. I became worried. And we're condemned to allowing him finish his contract. It took us to the World Cup, and suddenly it was, we qualified for the World Cup with 3 games to spare. But what did we do at the World Cup? It was a mess at the World Cup. The worst Nigerian team I had seen at the big stage. We went to the Nations Cup. We were beaten by Madagascar of all countries. It was a shame. Then we met Algeria and I said, okay, we're going to beat Algeria. Algeria has just one person, and that is Riyad Mahrez. And Algeria beat us. We were so close. So much money was promised. And the team, Algeria, led by one man. Remember that free kick? Before the free kick, what did we do? Nothing. I saw a team that was playing individual football. It now takes the individuals to say, okay, guys, let's do it this way. Sam, we didn't start very well. It was like we've entered what we call one chance. How do we manage Ghana Raw? And here we are today. Sam, you know what I always do? What I taught you guys, what I said to all you guys, that you need to find out, ask questions about somebody. I spoke with a lot of people. I went as far as talking to German journalists. I went as far as talking to Jonathan Akpobori. We all know him, former Super Eagles player, played in the Bundesliga, San Rostock, Wolfsburg, just name it. And he said to me that Ghana Raw will not get a decent job back home in Germany. That it belongs to the past. That back home in Germany, when they talk about Ghana Raw, the Germans are asking, how did Nigeria, a giant of African football, end up with a Ghana Raw? I said it before, let me repeat. This is a man who didn't have a playing pattern. What the Eagles, it's a patternless team. This is a man who did not bring competition to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It was a Super Eagles where anybody can just throw in. You can sit down and say, okay, this man will come, that man will come, and what it is. It's a man who did not, give us a Super Eagles that you are proud of anymore. A Super Eagles that struggles to win. We went to the Nations Cup, like I said. We came third. That's a bronze that we have retired. We now call it the Golden Bronze. Eguavon, Lombes had 1 bronze. Amodu had 1 bronze. Samson Sensei had 1 bronze. Lagabak had 1 bronze. Mafrehona had 1 silver. We can go. Onigbede, local base, could 1 silver. Now, listen to this, Sam. Ghana Raw, before him, we had coaches who had 1 bronze. Sasia, local base. Amodu, local base. Austin Eguavon, local base. Lagabak. Just mention a coach that had come to Nigeria that did not won at least a bronze. Mafrehona got a silver. Westerhoff, that you can, if you compare Raw and Westerhoff, you are committing a crime. It's actually a sacrilege. 7 months as the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, 1 silver with home-based players. Johannes Bonfere won a silver, Ghana Nigeria 2000. We will not forget that. So the best, greatest achievement of Ghana Raw in almost 6 years is what you now call the golden bronze, a bronze that we had retired. No match pattern, what you call tactics, there was nothing, zero. No competition in the Super Eagles anymore. A Super Eagles where he had absolute control. Nobody, are you aware that Ghana Raw, nobody in the Nigerian Football Federation could tell Ghana Raw who to pick and who not to pick. That was in his first dispensation before his new contract. That Amaju Pinnick decided to keep him in Nigeria for another 4 years. I think we should probe. We need to probe the NFF. They should tell us why Ghana Raw's contract was renewed. But again, let me be fair to Amaju Pinnick. I was at an event for friends of Amaju Pinnick, where I remember he said to us that they were going to give him a contract that he will not accept. First, Ghana Raw has said that he will never stay in Nigeria. Number two, that the technical committee in Nigerian Football Federation can never vet his team. Number three, that he will never pick home-based players because the league is not good enough. Number four, that he will not earn in Naira. Let's start with these four. Today, his second contract, it was in that contract that he has to stay in Nigeria, watch the league, pick players, earn in Naira, and that he should be relating, underline that word, relating with the technical committee. That means they will vet his list. Ghana Raw surprisingly accepted the contract. Penny, where otherwise a conning man dies and the conning man bury them. NFF were wise. But Ghana Raw said, where am I going to earn $10,000 a month? He earns $50,000 every month in Nigeria. He doesn't stay in Nigeria. In 4 months, you won't find him in Nigeria. Those 4 months, he earns $50,000. In 4 months, he has $200,000 for doing what? So we got it wrong by renewing Ghana Raw's contract. He never had a hand on the Super Eagles. It wasn't good enough for Nigeria at all.
So many football faithfuls have questioned the timing of the sack, considering the AFCON is on the horizon and you also have the two-legged World Cup qualifier, which would determine if the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be at the Qatar 2022 World Cup, the very first at the Middle East. And Godwin had this to say regards the timing.
Well, some persons will tell you that if you are talking about the timing, which I think is wrong, some examples abound if we say, why did we have to sack Ghana Raw now? Like I said before, I don't support the sack at this time. But again, let's look at valid examples. Let's go to Real Madrid. Let's even talk about the second coming of Zinedine Zidane. Real Madrid was in a mess under Rafael Benitez. Some person said, no, can you swim and sink with him? Florentino Perez said, no way. Let's have Zidane back. And he came back. Not only did he steady the ship, he won the league. Now let's come back to yesterday. Yesterday is like today. Let's go to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard was a legend. It was like, oh, this is, don't touch him. Don't. Meanwhile, Chelsea was sinking. And Ramon Abramovich just went and said, okay, I know a man who can make the difference. He just qualified, got to the final of the Champions League. He missed it by the whiskers. Now let's bring him. Thomas Tuchel. Thomas came, and not only did Chelsea finish among the top 4 to get into the Champions League, he won the Champions League. He won the European club competition as the best club side in Europe. Look at where they are. He got to the final of the FA Cup. But when he was sacked, everyone said, no, you can't. No, it's too whatever, whatever. This is football. And I've always said it's like biscuit. No one can tell where to crack. Ghana Raw has to go. Anyway, if we had qualified for the World Cup, what would they have done at the World Cup? Go and make up the numbers again? Let's get somebody. Take us to the Nations Cup. We have 4 good months to the game, the qualifiers for the World Cup. It's home and away at the end of the day. Whoever they pair us against, we have a man. You actually don't need... Look, thank God for technology. Whoever they bring in now knows what our players can do. It's same players that we're going to bring. It's about what the Eagles lack is first and foremost tactics. This is direction we want to play. That's number 1. Number 2, taking advantage of the individual qualities of the players you bring to the national team. You don't need to. At the national team, you don't teach players how to control the ball. This is a game we're going to play. This is the tactics that we want to play today. That's all the Super Eagles is all about. So it might be too late, in my opinion, but hey, we have examples of Zinedine Zidane and, of course, in recent times, Thomas Tuchel.
Ever since the media was awash with the sacking of Gennaro, there have been speculations regarding who replaces him, especially with a certain Serbian named Klacic, also, touted as his replacement. Godwin said this.
If I were given that opportunity, I would say immediately Austin Eguavoen, Joseph Yobo, and Salisu lead us to the Nations Cup. That's what I would have done. I won't look for a foreign coach for now. Then I'll settle down, look for a quality foreign coach. A man who is hungry, a young man. Maybe not from Serbia. I've spoken with the NFF, they deny that. But again, they don't always tell the truth. So sometimes when they tell you good money, you have to check if it's still money. If they eventually bring anybody from Serbia, hey, all well and good. But in my mind, for now, I'm not saying for a local coach to take us to the World Cup, but let's go to the Nations Cup. African countries are playing in the Nations Cup. Our players are playing with the best all over the world. And the players that are going to be meeting at the Nations Cup are players who are from Africa, who are playing outside of Africa. So let's stay at home for this one, take our time. Let's engage a foreign coach. But it won't go with us to the Nations Cup as in dictating. It can be at the Nations Cup, watch our team play, and at the end of the day, it comes to deal with the World Cup qualifiers. Just two-legged, one game to play, but hey, home and away. I have no doubt in my mind that with a quality foreign coach, we'll get to the World Cup.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Okay. Like I said, I've told you who I want. Ava Reina will not come close to the national team because we're talking about the World Cup, not the Nations Cup. So I've told you that we should look for quality. First, we always make the mistake. I've said it before. Sometimes when I speak, because I'm an insider, as a football administrator, I know what is going on the inside. I said before, at no time was Joseph Yobo the coach. Joseph Yobo is more like a team manager. It's more like a big influence. When you are playing, you see Joseph Yobo, he's been to the Nations Cup, he's been to the World Cup, he's won the Nations. You know, it comes with experience, not coaching experience, as it were. You need somebody like that in the national team. Yeah, that's why I said Eguavon, Salisu, who is there. Then you have Joseph Yobo. These three young people, in my opinion, will not miss it at all.
My discussion with Godwin Enahena didn't end with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We delved into the women's game, and when it had to do with women's football, Godwin shared his opinion with us.
Under Amaju Pinnick, women football has been abandoned completely. Amaju today is the president of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, not even Nigerian football. That's the sad reality. We've had journeymen come coach the women. We've decided to say anything good cannot come out of Nigeria. So the domestic league is dead. Coaches who don't have pedigrees have come to coach the national team of Nigeria. As we speak today, we have a lecturer, part-time lecturer, coaching the Super Falcons of Nigeria. If we're a serious country, we don't do things like that. There was a time we'll just have the national team of Nigeria, Super Falcons, and you say, okay, we're going to win 10-0, 5-0. Today we struggle. You saw the Aisha Buhari competition. The Moroccan team dealt with us so bad, it was an embarrassment. And the South Africans, it's like, how do they put it now? You know, you have a saw and someone is putting your name right there. We played Ghana. We managed to qualify for the last stage of the Africa. We might not qualify to play at the Nations Cup. We didn't go to the Olympics. The giant of Africa, the #1 women playing team in Africa. Because which team beat us? Cote d'Ivoire. And in the same Cote d'Ivoire we're going to meet again as we want to go to the Nations Cup. No attention. Sometimes we take them to Austria. What is in Austria? I don't even know. Let us build our castles right here in Nigeria. The league has quality players. I'm not one who says that the best legs should come from Nigeria. No. While you are looking outside of Nigeria, look inward. A marriage of the home base and the foreign base tells us a lot. We saw the Aisha Buhari Cup. It took home-based players to make a difference, as it were. We don't have a good coach. And we also need time. Imagine if we open a camp of the home-based players, the women's league. They don't play too many games. We have a camp. That Oyibo man that is jobless, that only comes when we have competitions. Imagine if we keep him in Nigeria. Okay, for the next 3 months, tutor these young ladies in the league. You understand how far we can go. But right now, it's a case of everything we want to do has to come from abroad. And we don't get to prepare. It's 3 days to a match. Aziza Toshuala will fly in. Odega will come. The usual suspects will come. And we'll play like strangers on the pitch of play. And they say, oh, our women don't know how to play. What we used to have in those days is that not only were our best legs outside of Nigeria, well, we had a lot of Nigerian players playing from Nigeria. We didn't have to import them from America. It is what we did that exposed our players, you know, to foreign scouts, and they went outside of Nigeria. If we don't pay attention to the league, that's where it starts from. We'll continue to struggle. So the blame lies squarely on the desk of Amaju Pinnick and the Nigerian Football Federation. They are paying lip service to developing the women's league or women football in Nigeria.
Regards the state of the Nigerian Women's League, Godwin had this to say, as well as Aisha Falode's impact on women's football administration in the country.
Well, so much has changed under Aisha Falode. Hey, give it to her. It's not the same. Let me start by saying that under Aisha Falode, no more walkovers. We haven't seen walkovers. Under Aisha Falode, when she says the league starts on the 10th, it starts on the 10th. There was a time we didn't know, just like the men's league, when it's going to start, when we're going to play. All that is gone now. Under Aisha Falode, players are being paid outside when due. Under Aisha Falode, in the history of women football in Nigeria, we've had a lot of young girls leave this country to play professional football because there's an opportunity for us. I mean, you can say, oh, you know how the white men behave? They plan their itinerary all the time. Oh, the league starts on the 2nd, and it actually starts on the 2nd. Under Aisha Falode, we saw the women's league, the final, somewhere in Ijebu on TV. It was broadcast to the world. So you could see exactly what is going on. Under Aisha Folode, there's been what we call discipline. Now, Aisha Folode says the Nigerian Premier League for women starts on the 8th of December, 2021. And she also said, registration by every team, there are 14 women's teams in Nigeria. She said, every team must have completed registration by the 25th of December, 25th of November 2021. But she now said, if you don't register on that day, you not only pay 400,000 naira, you will leave the league. Last season she did it. Those who could not meet the requirement had to exit the league, the women's league. It has never happened before. So, I mean, let's give kudos to Aisha Folode. But truth be told, we still have a long way to go because Rome was not built in a day. Neither was Rome destroyed in a day. So let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She's doing good. She's showing that first and foremost, you have to build what? Solid foundation. Then you can build on that foundation. So it can only get better.
We also discussed about the prospects of monetizing the league, about getting sponsorships and partners on board. And Godwin shared this with us.
The Nigerian League, in the last how many years, you win, you don't get a dime. If you don't have sponsors for the men's league, why are you talking about the women? Of course, the season before Aisha Folode paid, I think the winners got like 3-5 million. Yeah, I remember. Well, this time, of course, the pandemic. But the final, the champion, even the champion went to represent Nigeria's Rivers Angels in the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League, you know, as it were. It's difficult. Aisha says that all the time that the Nigerian Football Federation has to help her. Not just the Women's League, Nigerian football. Why is Amaju getting sponsors for the Super Eagles? It's a $1 billion question. Sponsorship must trickle down. A potential sponsor has come. And I said to him, thank you very much for wanting to be associated with the brand Super Eagles. Please, can you help us to develop our football? Can you help us? When you develop football, I'm not talking about the league. The under-10s, the under-15, under whatever. That's the embryo. That's where it starts from. That's where the growth process starts. We always, in Nigeria, we climb trees from the top. That's what Amaju is doing. Paparazzi, help these people. You have come, please. Mr. Sponsor, please, can you put 10 naira on the women's league? Can you support the women's league?
That was an enlightening discussion I had with Godwin and Ayana that regards the state of Nigerian football. But due to time constraints, we won't be able to take the entire conversation. But not to worry, we'll air the concluding part tomorrow on The Arena. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us. That's the size of our package on today's edition of The Arena. I'm Samson Oloide, and to Godwin and Akana, thank you so much for your time. To the production crew who made this possible, I say thank you as well. And to you, our viewers, as I often refer to you as the MVP, thank you so much for staying tuned. Do not change the channel. There's still so much content from where this came.